right? So the problem with stress really boils down to three different things: ambiguity, normality, and immunity. So with ambiguity, people think they know what stress is. I remember when I first started researching stress, I thought I knew what stress was, and I did not, right? I really just thought stress was when I felt out of control, like I couldn't accomplish what it is that I wanted to do, or I wasn't thinking clearly, or um, the things around me weren't ideal, right? So basically, just feeling out of control or not feeling the way that I wanted to feel. I thought that that's what stress is. And it is, but it's so much more, right? Stress is a biological function, it's how we survive. But without knowing how it impacts our body individually, we cannot deal with stress, right? There isn't one single unifying definition of stress in the literature. Stress impacts all of our bodies differently. And so that's why it's so ambiguous, right? Because we don't necessarily know how stress will impact you, because it depends on your resources and your perception of stress. And so all of us have a different perception of stress. What stresses one person out may not stress another person out. And so it's so ambiguous because it's hard to track down and pinpoint, and it's hard to get a one size fit all definition. It's normalized because we think that stress is the price of success, right? We think that in order for us to be the person we want to be, have what we want to have, go where we want to go, we must be stressed out. We think stress is the price for success. It's the cost of a high paying, fast-paced career. In order to have power, you must be stressed in some capacity, right? And so it is normalized. We don't even really think that we are feeling stress. We are in many stressful, toxic, and civil environments, but we don't necessarily do anything about it. We face problems and challenges every single day, but we kind of just normalize it or sweep it under the rug or just wait till we cannot deal with that thing, right? So we blame, we ignore, we deny until we no longer have to deal with that thing, right? And as far as immunity, when we're not actively feeling stressed out, we're thinking that we're not stressed, right? We think stress is just a moment where we feel negative emotions are out of control, but stress has consequences. So we're not immune to the stressors that we felt earlier this morning because now it's 5 p.m., right? If we have not decreased cortisol in our body, we did not manage our stress. All it is accumulating until it turns into disease and illness in the body. And our society is actually designed with more conveniences that are maladaptive than adaptive, right? So it's easy for you to do the maladaptive practices that help eliminate stress in the short term, make you feel like you're not stressed right now, but in the long term, they hadn't reduced cortisol in your body. And then the cortisol continues to build until it turns into disease and illness. And so it's very important for us to figure out how can we identify what stress is, right? Know what it is. How does it show up in our body, right? What emotions do stress produce within us, right? How do we feel when we're stressed, right? Then as far as normality, what contexts and what environments are you in where you have normalized stress, where you make it a part of your day-to-day operations, right? So challenges are normal, stress is not. And as far as immunity, we think that if we're not actively feeling stressed and we're not stressed, we are maladaptively practicing techniques or just, I wouldn't even say they're solutions. They're band-aids. Band-aids for now. And band-aids are effective. They work for now, but they're not meant to last forever. They're not long-term. They're not sustainable. So what we're doing to manage our stress must be sustainable. It must be a part of our lifestyle.